What is up, college football fans? What is up, Clemson Tiger fans? Happy Sunday to everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Summerville, South Carolina. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be a Clemson Tiger, like usual. So I posted that video a couple of weeks ago after week one, expressing my concerns about the offense, about DJ, and I'm not going to even go through that whole thing again. If you want to see my thoughts on that, you can go back and watch that video if you haven't already. I will say this about the DJ, though. He is playing a lot better, and it's clear it's his job till the end of the season, unless something disastrous happens. And so I fully support anybody who wears the paw on their helmet. I don't care what the name on the back is. So I'm all in on DJ at this point, and that's all there is to it, because that's the way it's going to go. But anyway, we're only a week away from the quarter mark of the season. Can you believe it? It seems like the season just started yesterday. A week from today, we'll be 25% of the way through the season. The worst part about being a college football fanatic is that it's the longest off season in all major sports. But nonetheless, we've got through the first 3 games of the season with decisive victories. And as far as the scoreboard goes, I don't have too many complaints, but there is some things that need to be taken care of. First of all, defensively, if you look at who we've played so far, we've played Georgia Tech, who might be the worst team in the ACC. I don't know. They're in an arms race with Boston College to see who the worst team in the ACC is. Then Furman, who's Furman. And then yesterday, Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech is bottom 2 or 3 team, I don't know, team in the Conference USA. I think last year they won 3 games, finished last place in the conference. I don't know. They might be a fringe bowl team this year. I don't know how good they are this year, but it's still Louisiana Tech. If you just look at the scoreboard and don't watch the game, the scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story, and statistics certainly don't tell the whole story. You guys remember a few years ago, I believe it was Jake Bentley's last season at South Carolina. Clemson won the game by 21 points, but South Carolina's offense put up like over 500 yards on us. And we're going into the postseason at that time. And a lot of fan criticism, we're going to get smoked in the playoffs. Defense isn't looking good, this and that. Because South Carolina at that time had an average at best offense. It wasn't that good. And they put up 500 yards on Clemson. And famously, Dabo, which I think maybe he might regret this at this point. I don't know why he did this. I'm never a big fan of whenever coaches get into some sort of altercation with the fans, because it's just it's an argument you can't win if you're a coach, because you're one person as the head coach, and there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of fans. So it's a losing battle. But anyway, Dabo Swinney said, well, if the fans aren't happy with the 3-touchdown win against your rival, maybe I need to go coach somewhere else. Well, the issue with that is, Dabo Swinney, if you were to go somewhere else, it would be another program with high expectations. And the fans would be saying the same things. It's not a Clemson thing. It's a college football fan thing, right? Alabama fans do it. Ohio State fans do it. Georgia fans do it. Oklahoma fans do it. I mean, go down the list of every single team. They all do it. But as long as I've been doing this on YouTube, year 5 now, one of the most frequent questions I get from people, because I do a lot of call-in shows and this and that, and I'm on a lot of other people's shows, but the most frequent question I get, whether it's this during the season or during the off season, is what are your expectations for Clemson this year? And that's the key. What are your expectations? Because the expectations for a Clemson fan aren't the same as the expectations for a South Carolina fan. They aren't the same expectations as a Duke fan. And I'm not putting down South Carolina or Duke. I'm just making a comparison here. And the expectation that Dabo Swinney has created at Clemson over the last decade is what the fans are responding to. If you look at the stat line and you didn't watch the game last night, you go, holy hell. Clemson put up over 500 yards of offense. They won by 27 points. Had almost 300 yards rushing. DJ looked amazing. Full speed ahead. Let's go, son. Well, now we're getting into conference play. We've got 3 cupcake games out of the way. And sorry, Georgia Tech fans, but it is what it is. At this point, you're a cupcake. Did you see what happened to them yesterday? Holy hell. Anyway, my point is, the stat line doesn't tell the whole story. Because the truth of the matter is, after playing 3 cupcake games, Clemson offensively is something like 80th in the country, and defensively is something like 40-something in the country. And most people, including myself, coming into the season, looking at the roster defensively for the Tigers, this is a top 5 roster or better. Maybe even top 3. Gave up 10 points to Georgia Tech, gave up 10 points to Furman, gave up 20 to Louisiana Tech. Something's not right there. They look, and I can't even believe I'm saying this, they look unprepared based on who they're playing. So a win is a win is a win. Look, I know there's going to be people come on this video and every other video I post throughout the season about Clemson and say, Pete, what are you complaining about wins? You complaining about winning by 3 touchdowns? Not really complaining. I'm just saying. I mean, fan is short for fanatic. And that's what I am. And going into conference play, there are some very losable games on the schedule. Now, turns out Notre Dame's not very good, so that game later in the year is not looking like so tough anymore. But Wake Forest has an offense that can put up points. So if Louisiana Tech can score 20, we go into Wake Forest next week. Conceivably, what can they do? I'm trying to think of, the Miami game later in the year, too, in November. Of course, that's in Death Valley. NC State comes up a couple of weeks from now. So these are all losable games from what I'm looking at right now. But I'm not quite sure what the issue on defense is. I heard a lot of people saying yesterday that, Brian Brzee was out this week because of the passing of his little sister, which, by the way, terrible news. But this defensive line is so deep. This is what I've been saying all offseason. The defensive line is so deep. Brian Brzee or no Brian Brzee, he's a great player and sorely missed in any game, no matter who they're playing. But the absence of Brian Brzee for that game last night shouldn't have really made a difference in the scoreboard, in my opinion. If your expectation is like mine, is to win the ACC with a roster like this, then they're going to have to play better. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Florida State is also another game that I forgot to mention that could be tougher than we thought going into the season. But offensively, the running game looks solid. We need more Kobe Pace. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. We need more Kobe Pace. Will Shipley, look, he played great yesterday. No complaints there. The receivers are continuing to underwhelm a little bit. I mean, this is a receiver room full of 4- and 5-star players. Every single one of them. Well, not every single one of them, but the majority of them are. Can we start Antonio Williams, for Christ's sake? Antonio Williams looks like the best receiver on the team. He needs to be starting, and I think that he will be from here on out. I mean, the guy's proved himself. He's moved way up the ladder. But some of these other receivers, I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is. A lot of drop balls. It's been that way for the first 3 games. I mean, DJ's doing his part. He's putting the ball where he needs to put it, and some of these guys are just dropping the ball. That could just be a slump thing. I doubt that's going to be a season-long type of issue. So, ironically, sitting here going into conference play after 3 weeks, our concerns are not on the offensive side of the ball anymore. Which is weird. Anybody who tells you that they didn't think that Clemson was going to be a top 3 defense after the first 3 weeks looking at their schedule is lying. They're lying. So the blame always goes to who in these situations? The blame goes to the coaching staff. You know, I mean, you can blame the players all you want. It's the coaching staff's job to get them ready. So I hope these issues get fixed, and I believe that they will. It is Wes Goodwin's first season as a coordinator. I mean, we already know how great Brent Venables was, and Brent Venables was Wes's mentor and right-hand man for many years before Venables left. But you can't really replace a legend overnight, can you? No, you can't. So it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm hoping for Wes Goodwin to get his you-know-what together and get this team ready to play some tough games here over the next 4, 5, 6 weeks. Again, next week, travel to Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a team that's dangerous on offense, man. So they're going to have to play. Look, I can't even believe I'm saying this at this point of the season. Because my expectation for Clemson, like I said, was to win the ACC and make a playoff run based on the roster they have this year. But Wake Forest is a team that can beat Clemson right now. I know that the coaches and the players are taking this game seriously, but the casual fan out there is going, "Oh, it's a point and laugh at Clemson." They're worried about losing to Wake Forest. But Wake Forest has a legit offense. So I don't care if they're playing Clemson, Alabama, or anybody else. Everybody should be on upset alert against Wake Forest right now. That's just all there is to it, until I see something different. But Sam Hartman is the truth. They had a little bit of a struggle win yesterday. They didn't play great. But if they're clicking on all cylinders, they can hurt your defense. So we'll see what happens. This is almost like a therapy session for Clemson fans. I like this. Anyway, leave your questions, comments, and concerns below. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I do these college football videos and so many live streams I can't even count anymore, year round. This is not a football season thing for me. There is no football season for me. The football season for me lasts 12 months a year. And I appreciate all your support. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow. Your boy checking out.